Hi, I appreciate you all for this time. I hope everybody is fine, right? Today I'm talking about something very powerful that is going to help you. Yes, it's actually a comment that someone commented under one of my videos where I was talking about the power of the woman and the fact that um, if women are leading, right, there will be sanity because spiritual women means that they are very messianic, they are very they are flowing in the empathy and they can lead, right? And I always tell people that leadership is when true leadership is when everybody is satisfied or there is abundance, and we've seen that in the beginning, which was very woman, right? So now listen, the guy said something, and trust me, there are many guys out there that are also thinking the same way. In fact, most men are operating on that rhythm and mindset. Okay, the guy said that, and I quote, he said, if women decide what they eat, right, then men will hand over leadership to them, right? So if you read a comment like this, you realize that a person is coming from a certain cultural perspective. Okay, it's very cultural. That comment is very cultural, and I wasn't offended. Okay, this is what most men are having in their mind. I'm dealing with this. There are sects of men that are seeing women as this, and it's very cultural. Okay, that is why I tell people that African culture is part of the problem. African culture is part of the alienated consciousness. African culture is part of the Yahweh consciousness that is also the problem of this world. Listen to me very carefully. African culture is a problem. And don't think that African culture is ancestral, because what you are seeing in the African culture and tradition, right, is not different from what you are seeing in the temples. These physical temple structures, they are the same. And they are all under the one God system. So beneath the one God system are many gods. That's where your idol, and this time round, a certain voodoo consciousness, which is not even our own, right? So the comment of the guy is confirming a lot. You shouldn't play with these things. If you're a woman and you read these comments, then you should know how most of these men are vibrating. Cultural here, right? If you have conversations with the women about this whole society, socialization, relationship, it is on the fact that I need a man. It's like there is a need. That is the problem. And when I'm talking like this, I don't know how they label me. But listen, I'm a man talking to you. I'm telling you, and I don't know how you would describe me or see me, but there is a truth and there is a reality I've seen. And nothing is going to change that. People are talking about balance. But do you see balance in your culture? No. If you see a man talking like this, then you should know why. And you should know how things are becoming this way as it is. There is a totally gross imbalance in this reality you see right now. If women are able to decide what to eat, then they will hand leadership. Yes, because the women here are depending. And it's not only here. There. They are depending on man for survival. Because culturally there is a family system whereby the woman is considering a man as a need or a part of her journey, when they don't even know that we have an individual journey before everything else. So your survival should be something you are using your own masculine energy, which is from your feminine energy, to define or to establish. A woman messaged me and she was telling me about how she is doing a lot of planting and gardening, and she's so much living in that reality. And she also has a skill, she's trading, she's doing lots of things. With such a person, she has naturally nullified such a stupid comment. So survivor. So now the person is seeing leadership from survival, and that is what they are seeing in the matrix, in their mind. The politics is going on in their mind. Politics is becoming politics because of the survival of the people. They have redirected their survival from their own sustenance into an external person giving them their needs. The food is controlled politically. It's all in the government, right? The well-being of the people is controlled by the government. Industries, misplaced priorities of the people. So they think that leadership means that someone is surviving me. So the politics, we will give you, there will be food, abundance of food, and there will be abundance of food, and food prices will go down. There is this, survival. The day people begin to shift from this kind of survival into their own survival, what happens? Government doesn't make sense. News doesn't make sense. You are far away from that reality in your mind. That's how you've broken away from the matrix. Breaking away from the matrix is not, maybe it's like you have stopped using phone. No. It's in your mind. When you detach from that spell, everything comes to serve you. That means you've broken free, which means that no matter how shaky this whole capital becomes, you are having your mode of survival. You have your defined uniform culture. So every woman I encounter, but one thing about me is that I'm very funny, right? And I can be comic, and sometimes maybe you may use my looks to be like, oh, this guy, or the fact that I use the marijuana, the weed, right? I use the weed, so you may think that I'm not this them. So when I talk to these women, most of them, they don't take me serious, right? Including some encounters of partnerships I've had. I don't want to open and talk much, but the reality in which I find myself now as a single babysitter was even out of a certain reality I saw, I communicated, I interpreted, right? Because I see, which wasn't taken serious. So if we communicate truth, if I stand here and I come to say that, no, women should take their power, women should know, women should go into a certain point, because when it happens like that, it's for my sanity, because me, the same soul, I am feeling the heat of the patriarchy system. And how does the patriarchy system end? The patriarchy system is in the mind of the people. It's even an illusion. But how has it become so real Because women have given endorsement. That is why somebody will come and comment that if women are able to decide what they should eat, which means that there is a culture of women being beneath men because of survival. So they see them as unqualified for leadership. But listen, when we talk about women leading, we are not even talking about every woman. We are talking about the spiritual woman. And who is that spiritual woman? The spiritual woman is the woman that has come to reset or has come to default. You have come to who you were on ancestral grounds, psychological grounds, spirit grounds. And it's for the sanity of men. When women decenter men, it's for our sanity. It is for us to see our darkness. How do men see their darkness? It is when women consciously decenter them, then they get to discipline, they get to responsibility. I was telling a woman that, listen, there is something in a man that wants to make him be like the animal, which is animalistic, which is like the cat or like the tiger or like the lion. There is a certain testosterone that men need to become aware. Buddha was giving men a picture of a certain self-control that they should have. They should deal with that. That self-control that is not going to make them predatory. It's an everyday work. It's an everyday consciousness. That is it. That energy that wants, that is making the man try to find every means to manipulate. See the brat, see the gesturing, see the thing to rape the person. There's testosterone stupidity. That should be controlled, because it is something that has become so high, and it is all on the irresponsibility, especially on the dietary level. Right? The men of today, they don't see the need to even be present with food, to fast, to go into solitude, right? To see darkness, right? However, even these men have created a false light to even manipulate the women more. This all religion is from the testosterone of the men. Testosterone. That's what science will say. But that testosterone, this is how I define it. It is the lower madness, right, in the man that he needs to discipline himself from. That is when he begins to become present. That is not going to make, when he becomes present with that and become responsible with that, it is not going to make him sexually aggressive. Because some men, they want to tear. No, you are saying that no, they want to still pounce on you. And for all you know, you've done it with the person. There are some men like that, they manipulate you physically, hold you. You see, that it's animalistic. That's the ways. I told you that these lions and these tigers, they are not really natural. How do I put it? I'm not a science person, but they are not complete. They are beings that didn't exist in the beginning of time. That kind of frequency. It wasn't in nature. I want meat to eat. I want meat. That predatory spirit is infused in the genetics of the animals. They never get satisfied. And that is the ways of the patriarchy system. That's why they like lion. Don't you see that this religion, you see these men, I'm lion, the lion. Don't you see predatory spirit? They like it. And this is why a man needs, this is your spirituality. If you think spirituality is meditation or crossing your legs and doing yoga, this is the basic. That moment when you have to see your self-control as your yardstick. of ascension, because your self-control will put you in darkness. The ability for you not to control yourself or be disciplined will keep you coming, recycling in the mother. So this predatory energy is in the culture. This predatory energy is in the society. And men in the family are predating over the women in the family. So that's why I said this family structure, they are all part under the Yahweh conscious. That's why I say you, as a woman especially, you need to heal yourself from, especially if you've come from a family reality whereby you've had traumas and abuses, sexual abuses. I said there are some people, their uncles make sexual advances, pounce on them, predate on them. Men, listen, forget about this kind of this my uncle, my father, my this, no, right? My father, my this, no. For men, they can do, when that madness, lower madness in them come, they don't see sister, they don't see the culture that the man needs, right, to become better. He isn't interested in going to that place, but he is interested in manipulating. These are the downloads that I had when I went into my solitude, and it became my yardstick for discipline. I'm a man, yes, I am. The consciousness, the battlefield is there. I'm on. But I keep myself present and responsible to ensure that I am being my best self. Even if men are operating on a rhythm whereby they say to themselves that me, I am becoming responsible to fix myself. That is where they can raise their light or frequency. And there is no sightings of that. There is no seeings of that. That is why somebody will come and comment that if women are able to decide what they eat, there is a cultural mindset that, hey, I feed you, don't I go and then hustle and then go and get money for us to eat? What are you telling me? And they use that to suppress the women. You, the uncle, you've seen. It happens here. Uncles sleeping with their, is it cousin or whatever? Because that's it could be the mother being the sister and then giving birth to a nice, beautiful girl, and then the uncle will be making advances, manipulating her. Some women don't have the power, and they give in, and then they become traumatized. Some are doing that too, even when they are babies and children. And this is what women should be doing lots of rituals against these things. You go to the ocean side, you do rituals that men that are into this kind of stupidity or kind of cult whereby they are manipulating their nieces and all these kind of things into sex. Sometimes they can drag them, sometimes they can. I said I've had stories on my feet. I've had stories like this on my feet. Not even virtual. A story that comes to me like you are having conversation and it comes in. The person is telling you this. That no. So that's why when my uncle was, yes. Let me tell you. Every woman you see in these times has gone through sexual trauma. And most of the times it begins from childhood, the trauma. So every woman is traumatized naturally. Vulnerable. So how are we going to have spirituality when these things are not attended to? How are men going to see the light when these things are not seen? That's why they are that's why they are after false light. Because for that entity, your sins are forgiven. That's why these deacons, they are incest people, they are pedophiles people. Yes, it's their testosterone. It's the madness, that lower madness. Yes, too, they are comfortable in the church as deacons. Some are in other religious sects, and they are doing the ritual They are seeing results because, yes, and women are giving themselves as marriage. They are marrying them because of money. But you know for sure that your husband, who is a pastor, has been incesting little children, but because you have been shut up with money. So this is how patriarchy system is working, because the women are the engine. The engine of it is the woman. And that is why somebody can finish having sex with a woman, right? And then come and see my video and then say that if women are able to decide what they will eat, then we will hand leadership to them. Such a stupid comment. When we talk about leadership, we are talking about leadership. We are talking about empathy. We are talking about heart. Yes, when you talk about leadership, it has to do with heart. It's not emotions. Women can express the integrity of their heart through emotions. It doesn't make them emotional beings. They are rather heart beings. They want to see the right things. They want to see justice. When they are manipulated for long, they burst out and it's expressed in emotions. Don't get it twisted. But trust me, I know for sure that this land that I lived on has been matriarchy before, and there was abundance, there was security. I told you God is a woman. I told you the Creator is a woman. And she carries the melanin. She is the melanin. She is the one that gives melanin to the children from birth. She is melanin. Sometimes they want to call her the old woman. But to me, she is everything. And that is the woman I recognize in my soul. And that is actually me. I. So we talk about soul, we are talking about the I. That is your identity. Identity. I. That's where you find self. That's where you meet yourself. I. That's where the woman is. Is inside you, connected to your pineal gland. The revelations are there. I said, on this soil I stand on, there wasn't any culture. There wasn't any Today, women are activating on the streets. And they call it madness. Soul activation is what they call it madness. No. It's simple. The only word that we can use for the awakening that happens to you, that activates your soul out of a certain event, is madness. Let's be straight. It's madness. Now, in it, that's where you are going to see the classifications, where now you see some going low with it. Because when they couldn't accept the reality, it didn't shift them into grounding or responsibility. They didn't just accept it, they were running away. When my partner's activation came, instead of her to ground herself by recognizing the state that she has brought forth a child, reminding herself that she has brought forth a child as a goddess, and that she should use that madness energy channeled to help the child, she was running away. She was going low with that. Running away. That no, that's not my child. That's not it. That's not it. And I'm like, no, that's it. You brought forth. And this reality is what is going to cause you to break the cycle of the fact that you couldn't become that woman during childhood that you should be as growing up. So this is the opportunity for you to give. And that is how you are going to find a certain complete healing. Many people have had pregnancy, they had activation out of it. Maybe there was an event of a CS, but they activated and grounded. The first episode of the first episode of denial. After the first episode, the second episode will be acceptance. You come back and ground yourself. That's the reality. So what they call madness, or what they call this, is the fact that something has happened And out of this whole shock, now you've disconnected from this whole reality. Now it's a beautiful thing to come out of the people and the system, but it should lead you to responsibility more and grounding. So this is where a situation whereby maybe some become violent, some become this, some become that, some become this, some become that, then they are attacking, they are this, because after that, now it's like they are still offended. It's like, why shouldn't it should have been this or how, then they go low. But these things are to tell you that, let me now focus on myself. I get emotional when I'm talking about these things, when it has to do with the woman. And I don't care whether you know me or you don't know me, or I've seen you, I've been with you before. No. What I need to tell you is that the sanity of the world is in taking your power back. The sanity of even the men is in taking your power back and knowing yourself. Or else the more you keep on, right now, people who don't even want me to be talking this truth, I feel in my soul mostly that they are even more a woman. Because listen, trust me, somebody is under spell and the person is offended, but you can't do anything about the situation. Awakening has come, and as many women unite, and even it's getting to a time that communities are going to be formed whereby women are uniting and becoming commune, because community comes from the word communion. That's a unification. But this community you are seeing, are you seeing communities? Is it communities? Are these communities? What do they share? What do they share? Do they look out for each other? They gossip, they destroy, they do voodoo, they funeral, it's like it's animalistic, lower. And this is what we are talking about. So the community is going to happen. From 2025, you will see the community, you see the unity. You see the unity, and it's going to help. I want to see a world of abundance where everybody is safe and secure. Nobody is having a fear of a nuclear weapon being dropped. That's the ways of men, putting you in fear, and you are seeing it in your relationship. The lies are exposed. It's all exposed out there. And many women are going to go into a certain kundalini is going to shock them. Kundalinis are coming for them because they are going to be shocked. I keep saying, many are yet to go into a shock. If women are able to decide what they should eat, then we will hand leadership to them. Stupidity. So you mean that even the persons, they should tell you that the person's orientations of what we call leadership is wrong. But the person is moving with it. And I know for sure that as the person was typing it, there is a girlfriend there. There is a woman there who is doing, honey, the food is ready. Oh. You don't know what is going on. You don't know. Keep on honeying. By the time you get to know that honey is a bee's vomit, you're already in a mess. And at that time, you have to go into your dark, or you have to go into your shock or your wave or whatever, and then you if you survive, fine. If you don't survive too, then that's it. There is no cure for madness. There is no cure for that thing. It doesn't have a cure. The pharmaceutical industry is telling you through that serpent, telling you that, listen, your state, you created it. Listen, there is no cure for everything. There is no healing. Healing doesn't work here. We just pump in chemicals into you to make you feel like you are okay. But the problem is still there until you begin to go into yourself. That's where you are going to find life. Right? So you there, I'll say what I will have to say. From the empathic point of view, you can like and share and subscribe. I appreciate you all for this time. Yes. If you want to connect with me, it's possible, right? Come in your high vibration. It's very beautiful. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Yes, it's amazing, right? We will continue.